What's up, YouTube? Tristan Blaze back from a long hiatus with another legacy deck tech. My computer ended. Basically, one of my kids ended up spilling something on my computer keyboard, and I had to wait a couple of months to get a new one. So I'm back with another legacy deck tech. This is my green-black infect build that I, as of now, is my finished build. I might go through, tinker with it, put a card out, pull a card out, put another one in. But right now, this is what I would run if I was going anywhere at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description for my other green-black infect build, the budgetized one. And I'm going to kind of do a truncated deck tech. It's not going to be a very long one. So we're going to start off with our Inkmoth Nexus, the Manland of Infect, 1/1 flying with Infect. Then we got our Glistener Elf, our 1/1 Infect Beater, Ickerclaw Mirror, which is our 1/1 for 2, which can get pumped to a 3/3 whenever it's blocked. We got our Plague Stinger, 1/1 flyer for 2, and our Crusader, 2/2 first strike, pro red, pro white with infect for 3. And if you can't tell, I'm getting over a cold, so my throat's a little scratchy. Now for our pump spells, we got our 4 Invigorates. You're probably not going to hard cast it ever. You're just going to let your opponent gain the 3 life and give your guy +4/+4. And we got our Vines of Vastwood. Give your guy, what is it? Oh, Hexproof, that's it. Gives your guy Hexproof, and if you kick it, +4/+4. Mutagenic Growth, your little +2/+2, pay 2 life. Then we have our Might of Old Kroza, which can give you a +2/+2, or if you do it in the main phase, +4/+4, and Groundswell, which is now a little bit more abusable with the fetch lands in the deck, and then 2 copies of Berserk, which make it a lot faster, because you can get a Glistener Elf, turn 1, turn 2, Invigorate, and Mutagenic Growth it to a 7/7, then Berserk it to a 14/7 Trampler. Now for utility, I've gone with 2 crop rotations to primarily either A, fetch an Inkmoth Nexus, or in response to a Wasteland activation, sacrifice it to get another Inkmoth Nexus, or to also get a Pendelhaven if you want to do pumps on a small creature. 3 copies of Duress, and 1 Sylvan Library to give you a little bit of library manipulation. In our land, we have our 2 swamps, 2 forests, 3 Pendelhavens, 3 copies of Bayou, 4 Lotus Petals, which Lotus Petals are here to help get a Plague Stinger on turn 1, Crusader on turn 2, very, very rarely Crusader on turn 1, and then our 4 Verdant Catacombs to fetch out our Bayous or basics. Now, the reason why I'm running 3 Bayous instead of 4 is, no, it's not because I can't afford it. It's because I like Wasteland. I play Wasteland in a lot of decks, just simply because it's just fun to play. I wanted to have at least 2 of each basic, and I couldn't see taking anything else out. With the ability of having Verdant Catacombs, I was able to see going down to 3 Bayous would be an option that I could accept and still maintain 2 basic lands in case I just know my opponent has a fetch land. Say like I do a Duress and I see he's got a couple copies of Wasteland in his hand. You know, I can just use Catacombs to fetch out a basic that I need. that's, you know, my personal view. Some people say no, you know, you got to run 4 bodies. It's an individual play style. If I had to make a change right now, I would actually take out, I will either take out 1 copy of Duress or the Might of Old Croza. I'm leaning more towards Might because I want more instant pump. This is instant, like it says on the card, but you gotta play it during your main phase, and sometimes, very, very rarely, it just, you know, doesn't do as much as I want it to do. Duress has more utility in my eyes, because I could see what's in your hand and I could kind of play around it if I need to. So if I could, I'd take out a Might of Old Croza and just throw in an extra copy of Berserk to allow for more just, you know, shenanigans with Berserk. Now moving on to our sideboard, we got 3 copies of Snuff Out. Now you could run Snuff Out or you could run Dismember. The difference is Dismember just does -5 to any creature. Snuff Out says destroy target non-black creature and they can't be regenerated. In terms of what you expect, you can change Snuff Out and Dismember if needed. If you know you're going up against a lot of black decks or there's a lot of black creatures in the area you're going to, Dismember would be a better option. But if there's not many black decks in your area, Snuff Out would be a little bit better. Number one, both of them, if you pay the way Dismember is played normally, you're paying 4 life anyways. Snuff Out, you're paying 4 life, but you got to have a swamp. With having fetch lands and everything, it's pretty easy to get that swamp in play. So I would say it's a meta call. I like the old stuff myself, so that's why I got Snuff Out in here. Then I got Mindbreak Trap for combo, Stonewood Invocation. I just like giving, I just like the ability that I can do a +5/+5 in Shroud to a creature, especially if I know that creature is not going to get blocked. It gets +5/+5 in Shroud. Plus, with Split Second, you can't, you know, outside of a countertop flip for 4, you're not going to be able to get rid of it. You're not going to be able to counter it. And then I got my Maelstrom Pulses for, it could be for token removal or just if your opponent has multiple creatures of the same name in play, like Icarid or Gravecrawler, Bloodghast, you know, whatever they have. But, you know, I play a lot of tokens in some decks, so yeah, you know, tokens are predominantly what I would use it for. And then we got our catch-all for artifacts, enchantments, Nature's Claim. 4 of those. You're not worried about the life gain because you're dealing poison counters, so you only need to deal 10 damage, and that is all. And then my Singleton Pithing Needle for anything random. You know, it could be sneak attack. Pretty much anything else. This cold is really just getting to me, man. Throats are killing me. So this is my finalized version, once again, as of now, of Green-Black Infect. I would like to try Green-Blue, but Trop Islands are running a lot. I'm eventually going to get Tropical Islands, but not in the near future. Right now I'm still finishing up on my Pox build, an older version of The Walking Dead, because I like how that deck actually... I like how the older version of Walking Dead is. Making my Goblin build a 3-color build. Testing out a few more Dredge variants. So yeah, I got a pretty full year ahead of me right now with some deck techs. And I'm going to get back to doing some games as well. So, Welcome back to YouTube, and I hope you enjoyed this deck tech.